Okay, and I stopped recording quickly just to edit the first like 20 minutes there, part one of this session. Audio and video seems fine. Audio is a bit poppy. I've since installed my pop screen, which I forgot to do at the start. So hopefully that'll be resolved for the second half. Now, we finished the tutorial in part one. Part two, let's jump into the game and maybe go for a little bit. I don't want to record too much in this first session in case you guys have any feedback before I get too far in, but I'll probably eventually start doing hour or two recordings after the first few sessions here. But at the beginning, I just want to give you guys a chance to give feedback, especially because I don't know much about this game. And without further ado, because I could ramble all day, let's start a new game and see what happens. Because tutorial gave us a bit of an understanding of combat, but I have no idea what the main story is going to be. Welcome, adventurer, to Mountain Blade Warband. Before beginning the game, you must create your character. Remember that it is traditional medieval society depicted in the game. War and politics are usually dominated by male members of the nobility. That does not, however, mean that you should not choose to play a female character or one who is not of noble birth. Males nobles may have a somewhat easier start, but women and commoners can attain all the same goals, and in fact may have a much more interesting, if more challenging, early game. As interesting as that sounds, I think I'm going to stick with guy because I always play a guy. I never really play female characters in games. You were born years ago in a land far away. Your father was a hunter? I think I like the idea of combat or ranged combat, so let's see what happens if I go with a hunter. You were the son of a family who lived off the woods, doing whatever they needed to make ends meet, hunting, wood cutting, making arrows, or even a spot of poaching whenever things got tight. Winter was never a good time for your family, as the cold took animals and people alike, but you always lived to see another dawn, though your brothers and sisters might not be so fortunate. You started to learn about the world almost as soon as you could walk and talk. You spent your early life as... Huh. Interesting. I have no idea what these choices are affecting. I kind of like the idea of shop apprentice or shop assistant, or sorry, craftsman's apprentice or shop assistant. Let's go with craftsman's apprentice. As a boy growing out of childhood, you apprenticed with a local craftsman to learn a trade. After years of hard work and study under your master, he promoted you to journeyman and employed you as a full-paid craftsman for as long as you wished to stay. Then as a young adult, life changed as it always does. You became a smith? That sounds alright. Though the distinction felt sudden to you, somewhere along the way you had become a man, and the whole world seemed to change around you. You pursued a career as a smith, crafting items of function and beauty out of simple metal. As time wore on, you became a master of your trade, and fine work started to fetch fine prices. With food in your belly and logs on your fire, you could take pride in your work and your growing reputation. But soon everything changed, and you decided to strike out on your own as an adventurer. What made you take this decision was... These are some choices. I'm not sure how much... I imagine all... So I'm not sure how much impact this is going to have on my character, but I would imagine this is essentially a character creator, and the choices the choices I'm making are affecting my stats and potentially the early story. I'm going to just go with Wanderlust. Only you knew exactly what caused you to give up your old life and become an adventurer. You're not even sure when your home became a prison, when the familiar became mundane, but your dreams of wandering have taken over your life. Whether you yearn for some faraway place or merely for the open road and the freedom to travel, you could no longer bear to stay in the same place. You simply went and never looked back. Alright, become an adventurer and ride to your destiny. What will the game save policy be? Huh. No quitting without saving. Allow me to quit without saving. Why would I want to quit without saving? Realistic? I don't think I'm ever going to want to stop a video without having a save point, so let's go realistic. Now enter your name and distribute your skill, and weapon points. You can click on various elements on the screen to learn how each one affects your character. Alright, well, let's enter name here. Tolhi. Done. Strength. Okay, well, here comes the reading as we create a character. Every point adds +1 to hit points. The following skills cannot be developed beyond 1/3 strength: Iron Flesh, Power Strike, Power Throw, Power Draw. Wait, I just noticed some of these points already have points in them. I'm guessing these are coming from the choices I made in the story. So because I chose Blacksmith, maybe I got points in Engineering. And because I chose Hunter, maybe I got Pathfinding. That looks to be as far as Pathfinding goes, too. Party map speed is increased by 3% per skill. Weird. Okay. Agility. Each point gives 5 weapon points and slightly increases movement speed. The following skills cannot be developed beyond 1/3 agility: Weapon Master, Shield, Athletics, Riding, Horse, Archery, and Looting. Okay. Intellect. Every point to intellect immediately gives 1 additional skill point. The following skills cannot be developed beyond 1/3 of intellect. Oh, 1/3. I see. Okay. So if I have 9 strength, that means that I can only have 3 points. Most I can have is 3 points in any of these skills. If I have 6 intellect, that means the most I can have is 2 in any of those skills, which is why Pathfinding can't go any further. I see. So basically trainer, tracking, tactics, pathfinding, spotting, inventory management, wound treatment, surgery, first aid, engineering, and persuading. As a reminder, I still don't know what this game is, but there is a lot of mechanics here already. Chester has told me a few times, and a number of other people have told me that I'll really like this game. I'm starting to maybe get a picture of why, because this seems pretty awesome. Each point increases your party's limit by +1. So I guess I get a party of adventurers that maybe that's what this Warband expansion is. Alright, well, regardless, I've got 4 more attribute points, which essentially also determines what my max skill levels are. Now, I wanted to do ranged combat, which I'm not sure what that even looks like. Well, here's proficiencies in archery. So I could go spears, lances, and staffs. Huh. Well, I was kind of thinking I might go lances, but seeing as I already have 64 points in archery, maybe we just try and master the bow? 71? That seems okay. Weapon Master, what does this do? Makes it easier to learn weapon proficiencies and increase the proficiency limits limits go as 60, 100, 140, 180, blah, 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 blah. Okay. So then if I was to put 3 points in that, then does that mean that I can now have 140 proficiency? No. Because it probably starts at 0, so 60 would be 0. So I can probably have 180 proficiency now. Okay. You know what? It's going to be faster if I go through each and every one of these. Iron Flesh. Each point to this skill increases hit points by 2. I currently have 44 hit points. Seems alright. Power Strike. Each point increases your melee damage. I'm not concerned about melee. Power Throw. Each point increases your throw damage. I'm not concerned about that. Power Draw. Lets character use more powerful bows. Each point to this skill up to 4 plus power draw requirement. Up to 4 plus power draw requirement of the bow increases bow damage by 14% personal skill. Oh, okay. So each point up to 4 plus the power draw. Okay. So I could get power draw up 2 points so that I do more bow damage. I don't know how much of this I want to min-max though. So Weapon Master is at 1 point, which means I probably have a max proficiency of 100, which will give me a little bit of room I probably want to put another point into that so that I can get to 140 with archery, giving me about double the space and proficiency to grow for the time being. Again, I'm just making wild assumptions. I shouldn't need shields if I'm playing from a range. Improve run speed, increase riding proficiency, that all makes sense. Horseback archery, reduce damage and accuracy penalties for archery and throwing from horseback. I probably want... I've got 1 point in riding, but I don't know if I want to specialize in horseback. I think it would be easier if I was just moving on the ground. So rather than put points in horseback archery, I probably am just going to put a point in athletics to improve my speed. You know what? I'm not going to min-max. Let's diversify a little bit. Because again, I don't know what all these things do, so maybe an extra point in athletics isn't going to make that big of a difference. And I imagine I'll gain levels and get to put more points into stuff as we go, so probably can't hurt to put some points into a few other things. Loot seems alright. Trainer. Okay, so loot, basically 10% extra loot per level. Every day, each hero with this skill adds some experience to each other member of the party whose level is lower than his/hers. Experience gain goes as 0, 4, 10, 16. Okay, these skills can go pretty high. Training becomes much more informative, or tracks become much more informative. We've got 1 point in that. Tactics. Every 2 levels of this skill increases starting battle advantage by 1. No idea what that means. Party map speed increase. Okay, still don't know what that means. Spot party seeing range is increased by 10% per skill level. Inventory management. Increase inventory capacity by 6 per skill level. Wound treatment. Party heals speed is increased by 20%. Surgery. Each point to this skill gives a 4% chance that a mortal struck party member will be wounded rather than killed. First aid. Heroes regain 5% skill level of hit points lost during a mission. Engineering. This skill allows you to construct siege equipment and fief improvements more efficiently. Interesting. Persuade. This skill helps you make others accept your point of view. If you are lower than the minimum level of relationship needed to get an NPC to do what you want. Prisoner management. Every level of this skill increases maximum number of prisoners by 5. That based on the this being like that many points, then potentially that means we can have a lot of prisoners. Every point increases maximum number of troops you can command by 5, increasing your party morale and reducing troop wages by 5%. Again, if this is an indication of, what is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 10-ish. If each of these can go up by about 10, then that means we can probably have 50 people. And that's not even including what the base number of troops you can command is. Okay, you have pretty large parties in this. Again, don't know what I'm doing. I'm going to say let's throw faster healing sounds all right. Wound treatment. Reduced troop wages sounds all right. Leadership by another point. I got a feeling if I'm running around as an archer, I'm probably going to want to move faster. And then for attribute points, this gives more skill points. So wait, if I put points in here, that gives me another point. So I could go up 2 more points there, which would allow me to get more engineering at some point. Being smarter seems like it could be good. Increase max party limit by 1. This, okay, agility gives more weapon skills. Strength gives more hit points. I'm going to say yes to points in intellect for more skill points. I'm then going to say probably agility to give me more points in archery, and then I'll start working towards agility 12. And then with these extra skill points, I now can get engineering up higher, but I don't know if I want to go that far down that route. Let's grab another point in weapon master, and then let's spread some of these other ones out. Let's grab inventory management, which will probably make my life easier because inventory management is always the worst. And then more looting so that we can fill up that inventory more, I guess. And I have no idea how good this is. Again, blind playthrough, so let's just go with this. Okay, and I think that should be good enough. So then let's hit done. You hear about Colradia, land torn between rival kingdoms battling each other for supremacy. A haven for knights and mercenaries, cutthroats and adventurers, all willing to risk their lives in pursuit of fortune, power, or glory. In this land, which holds great dangers and even greater opportunities, you believe you may leave your past behind and start a new life. You feel that finally you hold the key to your destiny in your hand, free to choose as you will, and that whatever course you take, great adventure will await you. Drawn by the stories you hear about Calradia and its kingdom, you... Oh, interesting choices. Looks like I might be choosing starting faction. I join a caravan to Tolga. Tolhi's going to Tolga! You came with a caravan, crossing the mountains that border Calradia on the north and east, bringing spices from faraway lands to trade for wool and salt. The passes were still choked with snow and it's hard going, but at least you crest a ridge and saw before you the Calradian steeps. On some hillside, the tiny grass of spring was already turning yellow, but the lower slopes of the mountain were still a vibrant green. Herds of sheep and thawing steeps ponies drift across them like clouds, testifying to the wealth of the Kurugate Khans. From the time to time, small groups of horsemen would follow your caravan from a distance, perhaps sizing up how well you could defend the wealth of you were carrying. So it was with some relief that you saw the Tower of Tolga rising up from the plains. You are exhausted by the time you find the inn in Tolga and fall asleep quickly. However, you awake before dawn and are eager to explore your surroundings. You venture out onto the streets, which are still deserted. All of a sudden, you hear a sound that stands the hair of your neck on end, the rasp of blades sliding from its scabbard. Whoa. Okay, I'm starting with a crossbow. Yeah. I think I'd prefer to switch to bow at some point, but... Oh! This guy's got a sword! Get out of here, dude! I have to reload! Leave me alone! I'm reloading! I blocked him. Now how do I... Okay. Oh, how do I don't know how to run. Jump! Jump for your life! How do I can't... I might have to... I hit him like right in the heart too. Okay. Let's figure out how to reload. Okay, I do have to hold. Ah! And then... Okay, don't hold for too long. Oh wait, you're... Okay. Good thing I didn't shoot that guy. Are you alright? Well, I guess you're alive at any rate. I'm not sure that we can say the same for the other fellow. That's one less thief to trouble our streets at night, although heaven knows he won't be the last. Anyway, maybe you can help me with something. Let's talk more inside. Out here, we don't know who's listening. The merchant takes you to his house. Once inside, he stands by the door for a while, checking the streets, and then finally convinces you have not been followed, comes near you to speak. I lost some arrows. Am I trying to figure out how to reload? Now, let me explain my proposition. We've always had brigands in the hills, driven to the banditry by the war, debt, or love of violence. Recently, however, they've been getting bolder, leaving their camps in the wild and venturing into town, looking for unwary prey. The watch commander tells us it's because of all the fighting on the frontier, fewer men to keep an eye on the streets, but I'm not sure what to make of that. It seems to me that the most logical explanation is that these bandits have an ally inside the walls, who helps them enter unnoticed and helps them identify particular tempting targets. Last week, you see, they took my brother. I don't know what my brother was thinking, a lad from a prominent house out all alone after dark in times like these. Well, I suppose you were too, but you're a stranger here, and you didn't know how bad things have become. He had no such excuse. He's family, so what can you do? If you don't protect your kin, then people will start thinking that you can't protect your investments either, and I can't have that. No doubt the gang will soon send word about a ransom, but I don't care to pay it. So here's my proposition. You look like you've had a bit of an experience with a blade, and more importantly, you must have a bit of fire in your belly, or you wouldn't be coming to Caldradia to seek your fortune. So here's what I'm asking you to do. Gather a small party, track down these bandits to their lair, and teach them a lesson they won't forget, and get my brother back safe. In return, you'll earn my lasting gratitude and a bit of silver. What do you say? Sure, why not? Oh, sweet. I got some denaras. Denaras. You won't be able to do this by yourself, though. If you try and take on the whole gang single-handedly, the hunter will become the hunted, I'll warrant. You'll first want to round up a group of volunteers. There's always a few lads in the village around here looking for a bit of work. That's more interesting than tilling the soils or hauling water. They'll follow you if you pay. So take this purse of 100 dinars. Consider it an advance on your reward. Go around the village and use the money to hire some help. I'll reckon that you'll need at least 5 men to take on those bandits. Whoa, very good, sir. I'll go collect some men from around the villages. Good. You can find me again in the tavern here in Tolga after you have gotten your group together. Then we'll speak about what to do next. You have taken your first quest. You may view your quest log by pressing Q at any time. Cool. Q. Collect 5 men. Okay, now how do I save? Save and exit. Oh. Oh. I think I may have just realized what realistic meant. So, I could have potentially had a save, and okay, I may have just chosen Iron Man. We'll see how this goes. Well, did I hit tab, and then it caused me to exit. We're now viewing the overland map. Left click on the map to move your party to a location. Enter the selected town and pursue the select party. Time will pause on the overland map if your party is not moving, waiting, or resting. To wait anywhere, simply press and hold down the spacebar. Okay, let's take a walk around the streets because I need to. Okay. Oop. Stay here, Steve Daves. I assume you should be fine. Now, where do I find people? Oh, hello. Mind your manners within the walls and we'll have no trouble. Okay. You are not someone I can hire. Are you someone I can hire? Nope. Townsman. Looking for people to hire. I'm wondering if I maybe should turn off Iron Man mode and maybe rebuild this character. Well, regardless, I'll upload this video and then maybe get you guys' opinion on whether Iron Man mode was a right choice or a wrong choice. I just assume the way that was phrased, though, that I was actually picking whether or not I wanted to I was picking more whether or not I would be able to quit without saving. But instead it's you can only save when quitting, which isn't exactly the same thing, but was phrased in such a way that I got them confused, maybe. Regardless, we're here. Things have happened. I just want to find one person that I can hire. Can I just talk to any townsman? No. No, he seems to have a lot of rumors and such, but nothing specific in terms of hiring. Okay. Visit the tavern. Oh, maybe guys in the tavern? Mercenaries. This guy costs a ton of money. Me and 4 of my mates are looking for a master. Sorry, I don't need any other men right now. Maybe it's taverns specifically that I need to go in order to find people to hire? I'm gonna stop. This is probably part 2. I'll probably be able to fit that whole character creation part into one video. Maybe it'll run a bit long, but I'm gonna stop here. Okay, I'm rambling. I'm gonna quick cut there. I'm going to stop. Next time, I might make a new character based on you guys' feedback. Maybe not. I think this should be fine regardless. But we'll wait and see what you guys have to say. And then either way, we'll probably try and continue with the same quest and try and find 5 people, which probably means going to different villages. But again, we'll tackle all that next time. For now, though, this is Tulhi signing out. Later, guys.